Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let's pray and say thanks to our God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has been given us some mercies and blessings so we can attend and gather in this place in good condition and happy situation. Secondly, may peace and salutation always be given to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness to the brightness, from the Jahiliyah era to the Islamic era. Hello everyone! Welcome back to IDN Weekend Tech Talk series, where we learn and share insight about various topics in technology and beyond. Before we start, who are you guys? I hope you're always in a good condition and happy situation. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Atkia, or just call me Kia. I am from 11DKV and I am the host of this Weekend Tech Talk. Today we're going to talk about exploring components and prototype in Figma. This topic is very useful, especially for those of us who are interested in UI/UX design because components and prototyping are essential skills in creating efficient and interactive design. And of course, today we have a special speakers who will explain this topic in a clear and interesting way. She is Aira Anafi from 11DKV. And before we welcome Aira and Napi, we're gonna tell you what we're gonna do in this weekend tech talk. First of all, there is an opening and we introduce ourselves. Then we will dive into the material, and the last we're gonna move to the Q&A session. Now let's welcome our speaker.
Hi, Kia.
Hello Aira, how are you today?
I'm actually really great today. Well, maybe a little bit stomachache, but I'm okay.
All right, you can introduce yourself first.
Okay, hello everyone. So, as you know, I am Aira Nafi. You can just simply call me Aira. I am from 11DKV and I love designing things. That's all I have to say about myself, actually.
Okay. All right, Aira. I think everyone is ready and excited, right? You can start your presentation now. Good luck and enjoy.
Thank you, Kia. Okay, hello everyone. I hope you all are having a great time in this evening. I hope you all have had a good lunch today. So, I want to presentate and also tell you some materials about exploring components and prototyping in Figma. Hold on, let me share my screen. Okay, so yeah, about exploring components and prototype in Figma. I'm pretty sure you have heard of components and also prototype if you are very familiar with Figma. But what are components and prototypes? Well, you will see in this weekday tech talk today. I will be explaining them one by one, and I will try to keep it as simple as possible because honestly, when you get it, it's really that simple. Okay, so the first one is components. Here, components in Figma are basically reusable UI elements. So as you can see right here, we have like little cards. I made like this little travel card where you can set the passenger in class, yada yada yada. And basically, if I make this into a component, I can use this later on. Um, what I meant by that is that I don't need to copy and paste anymore. I just need to search up set passenger and class, and then the components will show up. Okay, so that's kind of like the simplest way I could explain components. So without any more further ado, I want to explain prototyping. As you can see right here, it might look a little complicated and it might look like a little spider web or something like that. Yeah, as you can see right here, there are a lot of wires, but I can assure you this is actually really simple. So, prototyping is basically where you connect one screen to another screen, and then we can like when you press on something that you connect to the other screen, it lets you move on to the other screens. Maybe I should just demonstrate it without maybe I should just demonstrate it without any more talking. So I would like to start. Hold on. Okay, so we are in Figma right now. And as you can see, I have made this little planner dashboard or something like that. This was actually from my UI, but because I figured that I can't really do a demonstration on how to make hover interactions, so I decided to make this a dashboard. All right, so I want to explain about components first, like I have did in the presentation before. This is what components look like. Yeah, they have these little, no, not little actually. They have these purple boxes, and these are components. This is the component icon right here. Okay, so what does this actually do? Why did I make two of these? Well, if you see, components and prototypes are kind of connected in this material that I'm going to give you guys. So if you click on prototype right here, you see a little line string that I connected from this card to this one, where I chose while hovering right here. So what does this actually do is when my cursor hovers around this card, it will turn into this. How does it look like? Well, hold on. I'll give you a little demo here. It looks like this. See, if I hover around over it, it will turn orange. Yeah, that's basically what it does. So prototyping and components are connected in this little tutorial that I'm going to give you. And also, oh, you can also hover this one. Okay, but how do we make those? Well, there's gonna be a little bit of a hybrid UI card and also component prototype tutorial type of thing. So yeah, let's try to start off with the easiest one. You have this checklist right here. Okay, so first of all, we are going to make a rectangle first, like this, and then we're going to put it into maybe around 30, and make sure to turn this on so the width and height is like the same. Okay, and then we're going to put a stroke. We're going to put the stroke in about two, yeah, two kind of works. Oh, maybe three. Okay, three. Let's do three. And then we are going to color it orange or any color that you like. And then we are going to give it a corner radius right here. We're going to give it a 10. That's too much. So we'll give it a 5. Okay, I guess. And then we will remove the fill right here. Just click this negative button. Okay, and then there you have it, this part right here. And then we're going to duplicate it, but to make things easier, don't duplicate it with Command D, but instead we're just going to hold Option or Alt in Windows. So, and then we're just going to drag it down here. Wow, magic. Okay. And then we are going to make a checklist. Actually, I got this from an icon pack. You can search it up on Figma community. I don't want to make a checklist by myself, so let's just take it from here. Okay. Since we've taken the checklist, or yeah, we're going to put the checklist in here, and then we're going to scale it bigger, a little bit bigger. Okay, maybe this is okay. And then we're going to put the weight into 3. No, that's too much. 2, 2.5. Okay. And then we're going to fill this with orange again. Okay, but as you can see, there's a little bit of a problem here, but that's no need to worry. We can just simply click this and move it upwards. Here, bring to the front, and then we can just put it right here. Okay. After that, we are going to remove the stroke on this one. Yeah. And then we're going to select the checklist and the box, and we're going to click Shift A to make to make the frame. Okay, here we go, and we'll name it checklist. Okay, all right. Okay, maybe we can, no, okay, hold on. Okay, so there you have it, 2 of these checklist boxes. This one is unchecked, this is checked. So how do we make it into a component, you might ask? So we are going to select 2 of these, and then we will click on this button right here, create component. No, actually we're going to click on this one, beside this one, the create component options. And then we are going to create component set. Yeah. And there you have it. We have one component right here. We will name it a checklist 2 since we have checklist 1 right here. And then we will do a little prototyping in it. So we're just going to switch from this design mode to prototype mode right here. And then we will drag a string towards the clicked one. And so as you can see right here, we have interactions where there is this trigger, and if you pick on click, then this one, hold on, will turn into this when you click it. This is a little example. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. So yeah, when you click it, wait, hold. So when you click this, it becomes this. But we want it to be unchecked again when we click this, right? So we can just simply turn the tables around by clicking this one first. And then we will drag it to this one. And you have to set the trigger of on click too. So let's see, let's try it again. See, now you got it, a checkbox. Okay, it's pretty easy, isn't it? Yeah, it is really easy actually. So that's how you make these little interactions in Figma. How about the hover one? Well, it's quite simple, but you don't need 2 of these little lines to make the hover. You just need 1 line, okay? So we're going to remove this one right here. We're going to remove it. And then we're going to click this one and set the trigger to while hovering. Okay. So when I hover this, it will turn to this. Let's try it out again. Wow, amazing. Okay. So as you can see, like right here, if I don't hover my cursor, you can see it's not checked. Okay, when I hover it around here, it's checked. Wow, amazing. Very, very great magic. Figma magic, that's what I call it. Okay, so what about other interactions? Okay, let's see. There is this really interesting interaction that I found out because of one of my friends is this one. It's after delay. So basically, if we set the delay to maybe like about 200, this can automatically turn into this. What do I mean? So as you can see right here, see? It turns into the checklist. But maybe 200 milliseconds is kind of, or maybe a little bit too fast. So let's try to change it into 800 and then we'll see it change. See? It changed automatically. That is what after delay does. It's pretty unique, but also we can do other animations. That is called the instant animation, as you can see, because it changes really fast and there is no like smooth animations on it. So you can just set it right here. There's this animation part. You can select, let's try the solve first, and then we will try using ease in and out. Okay, and then let's give it a try. See, much more smoother. Okay, that's amazing. Smart Animate actually does the same if it's in this case, But if you want to move like an element using Smart Animate, you can also do that too. What I mean by that is like this. When you have a rectangle and you copy the frame and you want to move the rectangle here, right here. So you move it right here. And then we are going into prototype mode again. Select this frame and then put a wire to the next frame. And then we will try to do the Smart Animate thing. Okay, we will choose, let's try gentle. And then let's try on about 300 milliseconds. Okay. And then let's see the preview. Okay, it's a little too long, I guess. Hold on. Oh, I did it on click. Oh, I'm sorry. So let's try it again. Let's click it. See? It moves. Let's try to make it go backwards. Let's turn the tables and do the same thing. And click. Okay. Usually, Figma prototype has the same settings as what you did before, so we don't need to change anything while as we turn the tables here. So let's see again. Click, 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 click. Okay. That is what you call Smart Animate, where you can kind of like animate things in Figma like that. So yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? I think prototype is really cool, but when you have a lot of screens, it's kind of not cool because it turns into a spider web. And then, okay. And also we can implement it here, like on this checklist right here. I think I haven't demonstrated this one. As you can see right here, we can checklist this and we can unchecklist this. Okay. Yep, maybe that's kind of it for the basics of it. You can try this on a lot of things too, not only for like UI. Maybe you want to do a presentation and you can make it even cooler or even smoother with prototyping. So yeah, I also want to show you guys on how to what's it called, oh, not how to, actually about how components works. So for example, we have this card. We have a card about mealtime. I'm sorry, this is called reading time. No, we'll call it mealtime. And then I want to turn it into a component. So I click this. Okay, so now it's a component named mealtime. Now, you might be saying, we can just copy paste it. Sure, but I think making components is much more easier than this. So, for example, you have another page. Let's add a new page on Figma. And then we want to add the mealtime card in this frame right here, for example. So we can just go to assets and then see, as we can see here, created in this file, we have 7 components. Okay, now we can just choose the components that we want. Like this one, this is the one that I want. I can just drag it here and there it goes. It's right here. So basically it's the same as copy pasting, but you don't need to go into the other page in order to do that. So yeah, I think components and prototype just makes things more easier. Prototype is also used when you have like UI and then you want to connect the screens together like I did here. Like for example, I want when a user wants to click this and I want that thing to go into this screen, I can just simply put a wire like this and then boom. That's all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe that's all that I could say about components, because once you get how to use it and how to efficiently use it, of course, it gets really easy. Like it's really a life-changing knowledge for me, because honestly, it just makes things more easier when I make UI and stuff like that. Okay. I think that's all that I could give for this components and prototyping material. Hold on. So, before I kind of close, I want to ask if there is any questions in the comment section. Actually, you can just kind of what we can just. I'm gonna read the chats. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna read the chats like the comments here, and I want to answer your questions. So please, please, please give me questions. Kia, can you help me to ask the viewers?
Okay, guys, if you have a question, please just write them in the chat box. Because I think Ira really wants to get a question, right, Ira?
Yes, Kia. Do you want to give me a question?
Oh, maybe I just give that opportunity to the viewers.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, guys, as you heard Kia, she is going to give you guys an opportunity to ask me questions. So you guys better ask questions. I'm going to just wait in here.
Okay, maybe we got the first question. It's from Atia Humaira. All right, hi Aira.
Hi, Atia.
Alright, so I just want to ask that do you have a recommended tool that can make your website that can make your design into a real website that people can see and it can be no coding. Just
Okay, thank you, Atia, for the questions. Question actually. I do have a recommendation of website that you can use to convert design into a website design into an actual website without any coding. It's called Framer, and it's really really easy to use. Like the UI is quite similar to Figma, and so yeah, I think if you are a pro designer or maybe a Figma user, you can try out Framer to kind of make your website into something more alive or maybe publish it into an actual website. So yeah, that's my recommendation, Framer.
All right, I'll try it later. Thank you for asking. Thank you for questioning.
Answering.
Sorry, Aira.
Yes, Atia.
Okay,
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Atia, for the good question. So for the next, we got a question from Kalila Princessa.
Alrighty. Hello, Aira. Okay.
Hi.
Okay. So, I'm going to ask you a question here.
Oh, okay.
So, this question is very actually out of the context of what you're teaching to the audience today. But I personally want to know that when did you actually start using prototype? Because personally, prototype is actually a difficult and also a thing that people don't really use because most people actually just focus on UI, UX, and maybe prototyping and maybe using components or maybe other elements is quite new. But when did you actually start using it and what did you start with first? Maybe with buttons or components or any other color things. What is your answer?
Thank you so much for the question, Tessa. That is actually a very interesting question because I started using prototype actually very early, maybe kind of early, because it was, I think, my second no, actually first UI SKL, where we had to make a Zikir app, a pink one, and then I started trying other things there. I found out there is like this little thing in the corner called the prototype, and then I wanted to know what it was, so I kind of searched it up. After I searched it up, I tried to connect one of my screens to the other screens because we had to make three screens. I connected the first screen to the second screen, and then yeah, on and on and on. So from that, I kind of learned by myself on how to use the prototype.
Wow, that's amazing, Ra. I can't believe you actually started using prototype in our first SKyle. That's amazing. And from that, you actually learned more features in the prototype system.
Yeah, actually, I found out about other stuff like Smart Animate and also After Delay. I really like After Delay because it's quite unique. It was something really unique for me to discover, actually. I knew that from Kia. Shout out.
Oh my god, the MC, guys! Woohoo! Okay. All right, then. Thank you so much for answering my question, Rat. And that was an amazing insight. Back with your MC.
Okay, thank you, Chesa. That was such a good question. Okay, for the next, we have a question from Faiha. Come here. No.
No, it's fine.
Yes.
Hi, Kaira!
Hi, Paiha.
First thing first, I would like to say thank you very much for knowledge that you share to us today. Actually, I have one of problem in designing, which is I often design block. I would mind, just if you mind, can you please give me a reference for platform to search reference for UI UX, especially reference for designer, especially for UI UX.
Okay, very, very good question, Faiha. Something that I would recommend to search up ideas for UI UX designs is Behance, the blue
Oh.
one, the blue logo, and then also Dribble with the triple B. Yeah,
Ah, all
I
right.
usually use that to try to find some inspirations from there, but I highly recommend Behance more than Dribble because I think the results from Behance is more UX friendly and they have actual study cases in there too.
All right. Thank you so much, Kaira. I will try for the next design, I guess. Thank you, Kakak. I love you.
Okay, thank you, Faiha, for the question. Okay, now we will. I will read the question from the comment section. It's from Balkis Lubna. When should you use a component instead of duplicating elements?
Okay, really nice question, Balkis. So In my honest opinion and how I usually use it, when I use a component instead of duplicating elements, is when we have two separate pages. Like I've demonstrated before, it might be a little hard if we want to put like multiple cards, um, especially when you have like a research page and also a clean page, and you want to convert one of the cards that is scattered around the research page into the fixed page. I think that is when you should use components instead of actually duplicating it to make it more easier, because you can just simply search up what components that you want to put in the other page, and then you can just put it there. I think that's how I would use it, and also I recommend you to use it that way too. So yeah, that's my answer to your question, Balkis.
Okay, thank you, Bakis. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bakis, for the question, and Aira, thank you for the answer. Maybe this is the last question for you to answer. It's from Karin Asmaya. Oh, it's okay. What is the difference between a components and a variant in Figma, and when would you use each other? Each one. Sorry.
Okay, very good. Great question, Karin. And very unexpected, of course. So what's the difference between a component and a variant? So I think it's quite hmm,
Have you still got the connection here? I don't have it. Mine is already.
So to make it quick, the difference between components and a variant in Figma. Components, that's what I have demonstrated before. It's basically where you don't have to duplicate more items, there where you can just paste items or cards into another page, and you don't need to like duplicate it and all that stuff. It's just basically to make your life more easier. Meanwhile, a is um variant is actually, oh wait, hold on, I think I mistook component. Oh no, I mistook variant and variable. I'm so sorry. I think I kind of forgot what a variant is, but maybe I think it's a part of component. Yeah, it is so dark, Askia Janatu. It is very dark, apparently. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Maybe I cannot answer your question right now because I kind of forgot what a variant is, but maybe it is a part of component as I remember it. So, yeah. Thanks for the question, though.
Okay, thank you for you all that the question. That's all a good question. All right, maybe that brings us to the end of today Weekend Tech Talk. Thank you to our speaker and to all participants for joining this session. I hope today's session was helpful and gave you new understanding. And yeah, as your host, signing off. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.